Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and I'm getting there. Yep, this is my new radio. This is the ATS-25Ultra. It's a long line of ATS-25 radios. This one has the bigger screen, which I love, and a big speaker. And if you go back to my previous couple of shows, you will see that I initially broke the radio. What I mean by broke the radio, what I did is there was an option under the original firmware directly from a menu item to upgrade the firmware. And I thought, well, that should be safe. Well, it was and it wasn't. What it did is the new firmware from the company that created the original firmware that was in this radio, when you did the upgrade, it was in Russian. So all the menus were in Russian, and it had pastel colors, which were awful. Well, to make a long story short, I got it fixed. And the way I got it fixed is I upgraded to different firmware. This is Golden Radio firmware. They sent me a key. You can get this. You look at my previous show. I have the link to their website. You can get this and purchase a key. You can use it initially for free. And the only limitation is time. You can only use it for, I don't know if it's 5 or 10 minutes. And then it tells you you need to restart your radio. And you restart your radio, timer resets. Okay. So it gives you a chance to try all the functions. If you like it, then you can purchase a key, and then there's no time limits. You get all the features. Now, since I didn't do a video on the original firmware because I messed it up, you can go to other YouTubers and see how the original software or firmware works, like Fred in the Shed. Fred in the Shed has a very long, detailed review of this radio with the original firmware. And I believe Fred has said that he likes to leave the firmwares alone. Doesn't like to mess around with it. So anyway, that's how you can see how it originally looked. Here's a picture of what the original screen looked like. Didn't look too bad. But as you can see on the bottom, the lower part of the screen is all menus. This one, it's half that size. It's only one bar and then some menus over here. A lot of the features in this firmware are done by using this screen and touching on things. For instance, if you wanted to change the squelch, you could touch on this and then slide that little pointer there for the squelch. If you wanted to change the volume, you tap on the volume. This little bar here, indicator, turns yellow, and then you use the knob and you change the volume. You push it in and it goes back to tuning mode. That's how those things work. Now, the other fantastic feature is it allows you to load in the EiBi database. Right there, EiBi database. You can load it in two ways. You can either load it in when you've got this connected to your internet via Wi-Fi, or if it's connected to your computer, you can go to Golden Radio's website, and they have an option on their website to load the database. And then the database is available. Now, there's a couple of things the database gives you. Number one, if I click on it here, it's downloading the database. There's the database. The monstrous database. There is, now right now, there is an option where you can have it only show you stations that are broadcasting right now. that's a super option all by itself. And you can turn this off, and then it shows you everything. And then the ones that are broadcasting right now are in green. The other ones are in white or I think another color. I don't know what the other color represents. And then you can scroll through these using this rotor right here. You can scroll through these. And if you see a station you want to listen to, you push this in, it tunes it. Now, the other thing it does is, let me close this down, is it uses that database to provide you information about what's on a given frequency. Now, keep in mind, as most of you probably know, in the EiBi database, there's a possibility of multiple stations on the same frequency. So it's going to choose the one that, I think it's the first entry into a given frequency. And it's gone off screen now, but there it is. And maybe it scrolls through them. I'm not sure. I haven't noticed that, if it scrolls through them or not. Notice that there was, I'm learning, there's so much to learn. Notice on the end of that one was a +1. I want to see what this one says. No, that's +1. Okay. Now I'm going to look at the database and see if the +1 means anything. See if I can figure it out. Okay, let's go back to on the air and see there are two. Oh, I see. There are two entries at 9330, and it's the same station, but it's different times that they broadcast. And it's right now, what time is it in UTC? I don't know. Oh, right there's UTC time, right there. Isn't that cool? 8:43. So 8:43. So it's in the second entry. So that's probably why it had on the display here. It had at the end, as it scrolls across, it has a +1. It's the second entry. That is so intelligent. That is so smart. The other things you have on here, you have memory. You can store things in memory, stations in memory. You can save. I've done the save of 4 or 5 stations so far. You can set some various parameters. You can change the mode from AM, FM, whatever. Change the bandwidth. Change the step size of how fast this steps through the frequencies. And all this information is up here, including time, which it gets via Wi-Fi. Now, one thing I did notice is with my router, or actually my router, the Wi-Fi range is not that good. Well, I say not that good. I'm in my office right now, and if I go to my bedroom, I lose Wi-Fi connection. So I got to stay close to the router. All right, let's move on. There is the battery level indicator right there. It's at 43%. And then if you want to quickly change frequencies, you just tap on frequency and you punch in the frequency. Let's just do 5000. Okay, there we go. Oh, the other thing is, and I have to apologize, I don't know what it is, but right now, and for the past couple of weeks, my shortwave reception has been terrible. Yesterday, I was not getting anything on this radio, just like I'm not now. And so I went down to my radio room, hooked up my best radio, my best outdoor antenna, and I still only got like 3 or 4 stations within the United States, and they were weak. I did one more thing, is I went on the internet to where you can get to other people's radios, and I selected a couple of radios that are in Florida and tried to listen on them, and I couldn't get anything. I mean, there's something weird about the shortwave band conditions right now. Reception is terrible. So some of the functions I'm not going to be able to show you right now, such as the digital mode. Let me just click on Digi here. It's got all kinds of digital modes. FT2, 4, 8, CW, RTTY, SSTV, and even WeFax, and some more coming. These are the ones they're working on. Now, the thing, speaking of things they're working on, I asked them, I can't find a ATS function, automatic tuning and storing function. It's not implemented yet. They're working on it. And so you can do a search using these buttons down here, search back, search forward, and it will find the next strong station. But you can't do an automatic search of the entire band and store and continue and store and continue. Can't do that yet. I'm looking for that. That's my, I call it my crutch for finding stations very quickly and storing them in the memory locations for later reference. What else can I show you? There's so many features. I forget what we get under set. Let me try set. Oh, okay, yeah. Here's some of the main settings that you get. You can hook up to Wi-Fi, and it lets you scan for Wi-Fi signals and then pick yours, or maybe your neighbor's for that matter. You can calibrate the screen so things are showing up correctly. You can put in your QTH, and I think that's used for other functions. Then there's a couple of options here for turning on Bluetooth. It has Bluetooth, brightness control, information about the firmware, and the language select. Well, okay, let's go to memory. I've saved a couple of them. Okay, there's memory 9, and you can barely hear it. Let me click on volume here, and I'll turn the volume up. See, it's very, very poor. And like I say, I'm still on volume because I haven't pushed this in. Like I said, I can't get any stations on shortwave on any of my radios and outside antennas. It's like there's a blanket over my area, or all over Florida, because like I say, I did try other people's radios and radios were struggling too. See what else we got here. So that's memory 9 that I put in there. There's 8. Turn the volume back up. See if we can hear anything. Maybe the conditions changed it a little bit. No. The first 3 are ones that I was able to find yesterday and hear them, but they were pretty weak, but I could hear them, understand them. So that was WWCR. Not sure where that one is. And I even received Radio Japan, very weak. There's WTWW in Tennessee. Nothing this morning. And here's a signal right here, which I don't have in memory, which you can go to. I should be able to go to VFO now. No, when I went to VFO, it took me back to the last frequency I tuned. I was hoping it would take me to what the memory was showing. All right. I think that's about it right now. Like I say, I wish I could show you, because this is where it really shines if you're into digital modes, and I like to do WeFax. The videos that other people have done where they had good reception, these worked really great. Now we can also change the bands right here, and you can have all of HF, only the HF bands. I'll show you what that looks like. So there's all the HF bands broken down. You just pick one of these and you go directly to that band. And CB. Here we have air. I didn't do very good on air either. I am close to about 40 miles away, maybe, the Tampa International Airport, and I couldn't receive anything on any of their frequencies. Not sure what the problem is there. Might be the antenna. This antenna is fairly long for a built-in, or not built-in, for a telescopic antenna. It's about 36 inches, so it's pretty long. And then you got your broadcast bands, the AM and FM long wave, and then you got your ham VHF band. And then coming is marine. You haven't implemented marine yet. So that's all the bands you can direct select. So I'm going to select broadcast. And then here's all these sub bands that you can go to directly. So it's got FM, both Europe and US, long wave, medium wave, both Europe and US, and then the meter bands. Pretty cool. And I love this, I love these colors. Oh, one other thing is, this is the spectrum and waterfall display right here, which in the original firmware is this. It's not even shown here. It's selectable. It's way up here in this little corner here. Tiny, tiny, not usable. This is usable. You can actually see, for instance, there's a station right there. Now, I wish, and I should put a request in to the authors of this software, is to be able to click on this and make it full screen. Just temporarily make it full screen. So you can see, number one, a broader range here, and you can see it in much more detail. I'd like to see that. All right, I'm going to stop there. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, that would be a nice thing for me if you would. And I want you to have a great day. Thank you, and bye-bye.